Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. We bring you the right information to empower you, the SME entrepreneur. Tonight, to the influencer conversations. First up, we are putting the focus on Rentomojo, and on the other side of a break, EngineerBabu is in focus tonight. The global market for household items, whether it's appliances or furniture, is a booming market. But here in India, it's still very niche. Companies like Rentomojo, though, are attempting to change the way Indians are stocking up and are buying things for the home and are renting things for the home. In fact, I caught up with Geetansh Bamania to really understand how they're an innovator and disruptor in this space. Listen in. Geetansh, thanks very much for coming here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, coming down to our studios to really talk about what you do at Rentomojo.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Let's start by talking about your journey as an entrepreneur, where that really began, where the idea for being in the kind of industry that you're in, doing the kind of business that you are doing, really come about.
Sure. So, I've been in the ecosystem for about, just about less than a decade. I was working with Flipkart back in 2011. Post I graduated from IIT, I was with KPMG for a very brief period, then Flipkart, then I did 2 of my ventures, but, eventually I landed onto this company called, which was selling furniture, which was a large furniture selling company.
Sure.
Online, right? So, I remember because I've moved from between different cities, Chennai, Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi. So when it came down to furnishing my own apartment, I didn't choose my own solution, which was at that company. I was selling, we were doing good business. I was selling to a bunch of consumers all over India, but when it came down to myself, I didn't go for that solution. I ended up renting it out from a local guy. So, when I identified the economics between, that lease proposition or the rental proposition vis-a-vis an outright, I just thought this really makes sense. Because I remember I was able to, furnish my entire apartment for about $1,500 a month. And I remember a peculiar wardrobe, which I had, which was, incidentally one of the best selling at the company that I was working in as well. And when I looked at the economics, if I would have bought from that, company, I would have paid around 10,000 rupees. Whereas I was paying only 500 rupees a month to possibly lease it out.
Sure.
So that was a good 20 months, 24 months payback period for me, right? So from a consumer standpoint, it was really amazing.
I will talk in depth about, what the business model is like, and to sort of break it down for our viewers about, the different verticals, if I can call it that, that you're looking at. But I want to understand your inspiration as an entrepreneur. That's what I'm trying to get at. For our viewers who are perhaps contemplating starting a business in a particular industry, at what point, yes, the economics were there, but you were pretty much entering an industry that was so nascent. You were going to start this business in an industry that pretty much didn't exist when you started it out.
Thank you for saying that.
I'm trying to understand what made you understand that, yes, I'm going to make money in this industry.
Money has never been a driver or inspiration for, I've pretty much been the problem solver, right? So I was in a cushy job and I left that to start 2 of my ventures prior to this.
Okay.
And this was, in fact, one of those moves again. The biggest driver for me has been to always, think of a very innovative way to solve a very niche problem. And that has been the biggest driver, to create something very, very innovative that doesn't exist anywhere in the globe. So our service, whatever we have become, it doesn't exist right now. Lease as a proposition or market, as you rightly said, was not existing back then.
Yeah.
So, what has really drove us and the team for the past 4 years is we're creating this market. Very frankly, India, we have not seen a lot of market creations. We've pretty much seen market adoptions.
Absolutely.
So market creation is a very different theory, and that's what really, is the encouraging and the, is the one factor that is driving us.
Sure. So let's talk then in depth about your business model. You started as an online leasing company for furniture, but now you are moving to, gadgets, including high-end phones. I noticed that you've recently announced a tie-up with IKEA. Which is perhaps also where the market is headed. So just talk to us about, where you're seeing your most revenue coming from, what sort of the future pipeline is looking at in terms of what verticals you want to be in.
But the rental proposition, we never saw a huge market. Rental has always been a short-term phenomena, a very short-term offering that, precisely for the people those who are migrating in nature and so on and so forth, they pretty much want the piece of product for about 3 to 4 months.
Sure.
Whereas, to tell you for a fact, in our business, what we were seeing was people were renting it out for 18 to 24 months.
Sure.
And that's not typically rental. Nobody has heard of 24 months rental. So that really differentiated, and we started looking ourselves more as a leasing infrastructure. The moment we started looking ourselves from a leasing standpoint as an alternative to outright purchase or EMI, we thought, why just offer it on furniture and appliances? Let's look for categories which has a great, where we have a great comfort with respect to some sort of residual value that we can create after 3 years or 4 years.
Sure.
Not just that, we took this proposition to a bunch of point of sales as well. Like other players where a consumer is coming with the intent of purchase. Till now, he used to have an option of outright purchase or an EMI, which is solving for the affordability part of the retail transaction. But even if you take something on an EMI, let's say for a 12-month period, it's not that 6 months down the line, you can say, take the products back, I'm not going to pay you anymore.
Okay.
But typically, the life of the millennial is like that. That uncertainty is always there, right? So our proposition comes very handy to them, that you can first start using the product with the option and the power in your hands to decide when to own or return.
Sure.
So that's what the service that we have become. We have pretty much come up with this term called RMI, just to syndicate, which is rental monthly installment.
Sure.
Which is pretty much giving you the same characteristics of a EMI, which is making the product which is a lot more affordable.
So you were just saying millennials, and I want to pick up on that and talk about the fact that you're present in 8 cities right now in India. Statistics show that the economic survey of 2017 showed that between 2011 and 2016, we had 9 million people who moved into cities.
Right.
And for subscription-based services, this is
right.
typically the sort of base you're looking at.
Right.
But for someone who's watching this interview, what would you like to tell them about what is the target base? Is there a market outside of the metros, for instance, that you're present in?
We pretty much, a bunch of consumers that we have can easily, they have enough disposable income to buy most of the products that we're giving it out on lease today. Sure. So it's not just the migration crowd or the crowd which can't afford our consumers. It's anybody who's looking, who's going into a point of sale with the intent of making a purchase.
Sure.
And needs a more flexible option. We are addressing that market, and that pretty much becomes a very large portion of the addressable market in the categories that we are present in. Today in the categories that we are present in, the actual retail is about, more than $100 billion, combined, offline and online combined. Out of that, $32 billion is actually coming in the consumer lending foray. Now, we will slowly and gradually create a portion of ourselves. We're not so much in the fight with EMI, we're rather converting a lot of people from outright purchase to this.
Sure.
So rather than just paying that 90,000 and getting stuck with the product and dealing with the hassles of maintenance, relocation, a bunch of hassles that comes with it, you get an option to start using the product at a very monthly, low affordable rental. So that's the proposition, and we're looking to take away a certain portion of the overall retail in the next 5 years. That's the market we're creating.
Okay.
Not
is there a size you
them.
can put on that market?
I can very easily see $8 to $9 billion addressable market.
Okay.
And this is the market that folks with this kind of a vision, or if more and more people, if they come into the bandwagon and they understand what we are trying to create, I think together we'll be able to create a good $8 to $9 billion of market by 2023.
That's the addressable market.
Yeah.
And what's sort of portion of that do you see yourself targeting in that time frame?
Yeah, if very frankly, if 2 or 3 people are going to be there who are creating it, we look to create a good $3 to $4 billion, in terms of our own asset base.
Sure.
By then.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at in the next 3 years.
I'm also trying to understand that outside of the metros, basically,
right.
And for any product to scale in India, you have to look at tier 3, tier 4 also possibly.
Sure.
Is that going to be an addressable market as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, frankly, in the cities that we are in, that itself is 70% of the retail.
Okay.
But slowly and gradually, I don't see a reason why we're not going to be going into the cities where where a consumer is coming with the intent of purchase. I mean, we have retail stores and retail chains addressing that market as well.
Sure.
Since we see ourselves as a portion of retail, not a competition to retail, or rather a catalyzer, we'll of course be present wherever the retail is. Slowly and gradually, we'll go, much more deep into the cities.
Let's also quickly talk about the fact that your industry would in some sense come under Digital India as well as the e-commerce space, at least as far as government definitions are concerned.
Sure.
So what I'm really trying to understand is that with the budget coming up in the next couple of months, what would you like to see from the government for your industry? They already have announced easier financing, say, for entrepreneurs under Digital India.
Sure.
But how much of that perhaps is accessible to businesses like yours that are in very niche industries?
Sure. Not so much of the funding, because for us, pretty much the funding is
Sure.
For good businesses out there with good path to profitability. I think there's enough funding which is available, and there's a lot of capital that is supposed to get into India. But where I think slowly and gradually we'll require a lot of help from the government is with respect to how different new industries are coming up and segregating them and possibly bucketizing them into and giving them proper names. Right now everything is e-commerce,
yeah.
But but a ride-hailing app and possibly a venture like us or an e-commerce are very, very different. I mean, we typically come somewhere in the fintech or the subscription commerce,
sure.
somewhere closely interlinked around there. As a matter of fact, we take a similar risk of an EMI because we are giving you a 90,000 rupees phone or a 50,000 rupees bunch of chairs and sofas, but it's not considered a loan. If somebody defaults, we're not able to impact the CIBIL back. So some things, these are
sure.
some of the things that we are also working with the government, to possibly define all these aspects or salient aspects of the business a lot more better.
Sure.
But I'm not going to blame them because the industries are small. These are new industries which are creating it. It'll take time for them to take notice and start working towards them. The only thing is somebody should be there speaking their language and working with them, and that's what we're intending to do.
I wish you all the best, Geetansh.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Time for a break. On the other side, we're in conversation with EngineerBabu. What is the company up to? Much more when we come back. Just stay tuned. We talk very often about why SMEs are not leveraging technology to the extent that they should be. One Indore-based company is attempting to change just that. We caught up with Indore-based EngineerBabu to understand how they are working in this field to ensure that more SMEs are taking a technology-friendly approach. Listen in.
EngineerBabu is regarded as one of Indore's fastest growing technology consultancies. But how do you help your clients turn information into actionable insights?
Whenever client approaches, they are basically looking for a solution. They are not looking for a ready-made project that we can deliver to them right up front. So we sit with them, we discuss what are their pain points, what kind of problems they are facing in their current business scenarios, and why they are looking for an IT solution. It's very important for them to know why they want a particular solution. So we sit with them, discuss about the problems in detail. Then we design the solution in a very simplified manner so that they can turn them into actionable item right after the discussion. They can get the idea, okay, these are the points that we are going to cover in our solution, and these are the stages how we are going to implement it, and these are the results, and on the basis of these results they can take decisions that can help them in generating better revenues, maybe better servicing their clients, and better solutions. So it's about educating them, simplifying the process, and then implementation of the solution is step by step. We drafted this process after a long brainstorming and the mistakes that we have made in the past and the expectation that our clients are having from the IT solutions. So this is the simplest process that we can follow, and this helps them in improving and implementing in their current business scenarios.
Well, many of your clients, I suspect, are cost sensitive inherently. That said, how do you help them integrate emerging technologies within their existing infrastructural setup?
First, we need to work upon changing their mindset, that they perceive technology as an expense, but that's not the fact. Technology is an investment that comes up with a good return. And we tell them how this solution going to help them in scaling up their business, how they can widespread their area of operations and their area of the reach of their products and services, and this is how technology will help them in taking a better decision.
Terms like cutting-edge technology, terms like world-class design have become buzzwords of sorts, especially in the SME context. But are there limitations on what can be designed for a mobile or a network environment that's still maturing?
Yes, it's not about limitation basically, it's about how you are innovating the solution among the restrictions that you have. Every SME works in a different sector, in different geographies, and their target audiences are different. If we follow that standard that available for the global scale, it might not work for SME who is operating at a rural area. When it comes to even India, suppose if we are designing something for an agri-tech startup or an agri-tech SME, their target audience might be farmers. They might not be that educated that they can use English driven technology, or you can say website solution or application. For them, we need to alter the standards. So we just try to find the possible match between the two, the standards that are available and globally accepted, and the user that he or she ultimately going to use the solution. So we have to come up with a match so that both the ends can be met. Because the ultimate result is about the impact the solution is going to create on the users. It might be sometimes the employees of the SMEs, it might be the users of the SMEs, or it might be the third party, or you can say logistics partner or B2B partners. It should be usable. This is the ultimate fact, because they are investing their money and they want the return in terms of their client satisfaction, user satisfaction, and the revenue. So we have to alter, and we have to innovate something that matches both the ends. It's fun as well. It's not like a tough or challenging thing. We love to innovate ideas, we love to innovate solutions, and this is how even our team loves to do it for their clients. Yes, this is something unique and we should work on it.
Well, given the sheer range of your portfolio and the companies you service through EngineerBabu, you're uniquely positioned to be able to facilitate the exchange of tools and technologies across the portfolio. How have you leveraged that to your advantage?
It's about how you are delivering to your customers. Suppose if your customers are satisfied, they definitely going to refer you to their friends, to their peer groups, and to other companies who are looking for solutions. And it's about when you deliver the value, they can come back to you again and again for further enhancement of the technologies. And it also recognizes EngineerBabu at various levels. The people like you and other also approaches us with the solution that yes, EngineerBabu is providing such a good services, and we should encourage them and we should motivate them to do it further. And this is how we people feel motivated and to work towards it with the same passion. Ultimate advantage is it with us, and client success matters the most. Their success is our success. So with this particular thought, we work here, and we leverage it pretty well so far. Our clients give us continuous business and they refer us to their friends, and this is how we are growing.
What happens in a scenario where you face a unique business problem for which there is no precedent, for which there is no existing solution within the portfolio? What's EngineerBabu's approach in that scenario?
We feel excited. We keep on looking for such things. Even the team is doing the same way. Whenever we give them repetitive work of a similar kind, they can come to us and ask them, give something challenging. We are looking for something different to work upon. We all understand technology is changing really fast, so there is nothing like that something new is coming. It's not new actually. We assess that yeah, this technology is going to upgrade itself and enhance in coming 6 months or so time. But this become very important while hiring someone in the team. We keep that factor in mind, how adaptable is the person, how passionate he or she is in delivering that solution and enhancing herself further, and how quick they can implement particular solution, how quick they are in coming up with a solution, how passionate they are to face the challenges.
Now, do you believe that SMEs in this country are adequately harnessing technology to effectively scale their businesses, or is there a long road ahead in this regard?
In my perspective, they started accepting it, but yeah, it's still again a long way to go for them, because there is a difference of decision making. Basically, most of the SMEs and their upcoming generation, they want to adapt the technology because they belong to our age group, but the people who are actually having decision making in hands, it's difficult to convince them how technology can help them in in taking their business further. So this is why we designed a very unique business model for SMEs. So we divided the complete and entire solution into 3 stages. First one is MVP, second one is the first version, and the final version. So we understand their problem, then we design MVP. MVP is minimal viable product, and we let them implement it, and we ask them to wait for the feedbacks come in from the clients and from the users. On the basis of that feedback and the basis of the result they will get out of that solution, we can enhance further. So it becomes cost effective as well, and it gives them the sufficient space to experiment and to wait, and once they are convinced, they can move further. So this business model helping us a lot, and they are started accepting it as a solution, because at first hand they have to only invest in the MVP. So yes, it is a long road for them to go, but it is a great space for us to innovate how we can enhance a business model to reach up to them.
As a female entrepreneur in tech, is there a larger message or words of wisdom you'd like to share with our SME community pan-India?
Stay confident, consistent, and never give up, because it's not about in technology only. Whenever you are in any sort of business environment, there are n number of challenges that people gonna face, and the chair that you are sitting on, where you have to take major decisions, it's unbiased. It doesn't differentiate between male and female. You have to take the decision, you have to take it, and people around you, especially females around you, look up to you as an example. If you are doing it, and they have a dream in their eyes and they want to pursue it, they'll definitely look up to you. And if you give up, they will give up, and it's your responsibility as well. When you started fighting it out, fight it out till the end. There is no giving up, there is no looking back, and it's fun.
Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's our show tonight. If you have any feedback for us, we love hearing from you. Here's how you get in touch. leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com is our email ID. On social media, tweet at me at Sunanda_J or LOT_ET now. Our Facebook page is Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.